Hey everybody. Um, the video I'm making tonight is a very specific one. I hadn't really thought about it in depth, and for whatever reason I did. Um, whew. This one is specifically for the men with the brain injuries and for the people taking care of men with brain injuries. It's not to leave the women out, but this is specifically something that I as a man know that I feel. As to how a woman feels, I cannot tell you. But I think that this is something that's shared by a lot of men that are in my position. And that is the way you feel from the moment you wake up, the moment you feel, is that you have been raped of your masculinity. It has been raped from you. And that is the feeling. The pressure of growing up as a man, no matter what your sexuality is. I mean, look at me. Honestly, I was raised by a single mom, and I have the values of that. I can speak the language that females can speak sometimes. Not all the time. But I was also raised around a lot of very, what you call manly men type of dudes. I can change the oil on a car, I can change a tire, I can fix pretty much anything in the house, stuff like that. But at the same time, I love ballet like nothing else. I really do. That's a dichotomy that I carry with me, and I think gives me the insight to be able to see this. That as a man, when you get this injury, this thing that happens to you, that wipes clean virtually everything about you and shows what seems to be at first like only the really bad parts about you. All the deepest, darkest, dirtiest things that every single person has. We all have them. When you get this injury, and I guess this goes for guys and girls, but when you get this injury, it puts on display every single dirty part of you. So that in itself is shameful. It hurts to know that it's out there. Then there is just the issue for a man of pride. What it means to be a man. To provide. To lead. To be physically strong, mentally strong, emotionally strong. It's a pressure that, as much as some people in society may not want to put on us, it is a pressure that we all have. And it's ingrained in us. Even if you're like me. I mean, look, painted nails, the whole bit. I don't care. I am obviously very comfortable with my sexuality. I have no questions about my sexuality. But that doesn't mean that most people, they're not as open as me, and that's cool. But that doesn't mean that they're not having the same problem that I'm having. Or had a lot of. Which is the loss of your masculinity and your identity in that. Who you are as a man. You no longer can provide. You no longer can console. You no longer can protect. At least it really feels like that. And sometimes, even worse, because things are all jumbled up in here, the frustration of that, of which we don't tell you about because A, we're ashamed, and B, it's really hard to speak in general. I mean, it's tough. So thinking of something that deep and complex, and mustering up enough energy to actually get what the truth of what you're feeling out, it's hard. And then mix in the whole memory confusion thing, and it's a son of a bitch. And so this is a silent battle that most of the men probably have. I know I definitely have it. Even with as comfortable in my sexuality and as a man and being a feminist and a man at the same time, even being that person, it has been the biggest part of this battle, this struggle, because I am a man. And I do feel raped by this experience. I do feel like I was violated, like somebody and something, or a higher power or not, I don't know, but I feel like something came in and without asking took everything from me and did it in the most violent and hurtful and scarring way it possibly could have. And that is what it feels like for all of us. But the message on this one is, for a man, we are not raised to be afraid of things like rape. A woman, unfortunately, is. You have to go through life wondering who it is behind you when it's dark. You know, talk on a phone, even if nobody's on the other side, if you're in the park by yourself. Women have to do that. Men don't have to do that. And all of a sudden, you find yourself terrified. When it gets dark now, I still love the dark. I'm a person of the dark. I am an insomniac. I love night. But night is when I almost got killed. It freaks me out now. And it hurts me as a man to know that it hurts. And that it freaks me out. It's such a complex thing that it's almost beyond words what masculinity and the identity of manhood can mean to a person, and how much it can affect you and everything that happens in your brain, the decisions you make, the choices you make on how you choose to feel sometimes, whether you choose to be angry. When I don't remember the first week at the hospital. I was in a coma for a few days, and then apparently I was awake for about a week. And I was a fucking madman. They had to tie me down to everything. It took 6 people to hold me down to do it. It was ridiculous. And I think that's something that it's not that it's isolated to only being a man, but I think something about being a man and losing all control and not having it, and having it all taken away from you in a moment like that. Not because you did something wrong, but just because. What that does to a man, and please don't take it chauvinistically, it's just the way we're built. We are human beings, and this brain is a computer, and all computers work differently. A man's computer relies on the experience of manhood and being a man and being a provider. It doesn't matter if you're gay or straight, super effeminate or super masculine. We all have this identity and we all have this pressure. And after we get hurt, this pressure, we're the ones that make it a time bomb. And sometimes we're so frustrated and we hate ourselves so much and we hurt and we are so terrified. We're so freaking angry at being terrified that we take it out on you. Because it just comes out. Because something took away our filter. And that's how it feels. Now I choose to go the other way. Or at least I'm choosing to try to go the other way. Luckily, I was already a person who was pretty okay with being open. But there's still a lot of things I have to work on. and realize that I am a man. Facing myself, looking at myself, and being honest with myself. If I hurt, looking myself in the eye and saying, I hurt right now. That's being a man. Being a man is saying you hurt. We may not be able to explain exactly why we hurt. Some people can't even speak at all. I know that when I'm not doing this video thing, I am a mess when it comes to speaking. But we need to start opening that part up. There is nothing less of a person or less of a man for opening up and asking for help. Because the moment I finally stopped being chauvinistic to myself, the whole world started opening up to me. And some people may look at me and make fun of me or think I'm ridiculous or whatever. I really do not care, because it's my life I have to live, not theirs. So I'm going to do whatever it takes to make me the true man I should have always been, which is the one who could be honest, not only to the others around them, but to themselves. That, I think, is the true measure of a man. And whereas I felt raped before of my masculinity, and that scar is there. It will never go away. But now I choose to say, damn that. I'm going to be more of a man than I ever was. Because I'm going to own everything I do and everything I say. And I'm going to man up. And to tell you the truth, lately, I feel like a man more than I ever have. I hope this helps somebody. Peace and love.